thought I had to hold on, hold the rope, hold my place, hold the day between my teeth. I thought I had to hold on, so I held on. I held it all in both my hands, like some might fall if I let go. I couldn't tell if it was love or fear of losing the end of the rope. I said yes with a lowered voice, a polished yes, almost perfect, just to keep warm in the room, the fragile place where I existed. I answered before I could breathe, I defended before I could feel. I thought I was protecting my life, I was protecting ordeals. And all those orders in my head were the voice of truth. They said, do better, move faster, silence anything that might make you shake. Caught mid-flight, I couldn't touch the ground. I'd had left something behind, but something still held me down. Caught mid-flight, I was fighting myself. I thought it was life asking me to love like I bled. I wore my opinions like armor, bright, too tight, ready to wound. If one of them moved just an inch, I felt the whole room move. I kept asking the world for a sign, some proof before every road. I was waiting to be sure I was living while life slipped through my hold. When fear spoke in the bedroom, I let her decide it all. She knew every angle of me, she knew where to make me fold. And all those orders in my head had learned how to command. They said, stay strong, stay useful, stay someone they could never leave. Caught mid-flight, I couldn't touch the ground. I had left something behind, but something still held me down. Caught mid-flight, I was fighting myself. I thought it was life asking me to love like I bled. Then came 1 second, not holy, not beautiful, not brave. 1 second without an answer, a door barely open. I saw my old laws passing by, the ones nobody ever signed. They were still screaming inside me, but I no longer had to obey. So I loosened my hands, not much, just enough to see. Nobody fell in the distance, I hadn't betrayed the story. I said no very softly, and I stayed in the room. My place was never really held by my efforts or my silence. I breathed before the words, I let what trembles tremble. I had nothing left to win against a heart that defends itself. And all those orders in my head weren't quite kings anymore. They spoke loud, they spoke fast, but they weren't my whole voice. Caught mid-flight, I stopped fighting myself. I didn't leave the fall, I found a way to be there. Caught mid-flight, the sky it never rests. For my clenched teeth, for my proofs, for all this pain, just to move ahead. the bedroom, I listen without handing her the law. She still knows where I tremble, but she doesn't choose for me now. I thought I had to hold on, hold the rope, hold the day, but sometimes life begins again when loving no longer